You're watering your garden every single day this summer, yet your tomatoes are still wilting, your peppers are stressed, and your raised beds are baking under the sun. Here's the surprising truth. Daily watering isn't always helping. Sometimes it's actually hurting. Overwatering the topsoil keeps roots shallow, encourages fungal disease, and stresses plants during heat waves. Most gardeners overlook an ancient technique that not only saves water but keeps roots consistently hydrated during the hottest days. It's called wicking, and it really changes how plants access water at the root level. I first discovered this technique while experimenting in my raised beds and container gardens during record-breaking summer heat. The results were immediate. Plants stayed vigorous, yields improved, and soil stayed alive without drowning the roots. But to make it work, you need to monitor your soil properly. That's why I always pair wicking setups with a 4-in-1 soil moisture meter that tracks soil moisture, temperature, pH, and sunlight intensity. It's a small tool that prevents a lot of common mistakes like overwatering, uneven hydration, or misreading when soil is actually stressed. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Without it, you might misjudge moisture levels and sabotage your garden's potential. Why daily watering often backfires. Most gardeners think more water equals healthier plants, but frequent shallow watering encourages roots to stay near the surface. Shallow roots are easily stressed during heat waves, leading to wilting and reduced yields. Surface watering also evaporates quickly under direct sunlight, wasting water and leaving nutrients stranded above active root zones. In containers and raised beds, this problem is amplified because soil dries faster and nutrients leach more quickly. By contrast, wicking systems deliver water from the bottom up, keeping the root zone consistently moist while the surface stays aerated. This prevents nutrient leaching, encourages deeper root growth, and reduces stress during hot, dry periods. How I use wicking in raised beds. I start with a simple setup: a reservoir at the bottom of the bed, separated from the soil by a permeable layer like geotextile fabric or a thin layer of gravel. Above it, I place soil mixed with compost, perlite, and organic matter. Water in the reservoir slowly moves upward through capillary action, feeding roots evenly. Even in raised beds, this method drastically reduces the frequency of watering, sometimes to once every 3 to 5 days during peak heat. Monitoring is key. I check soil moisture with my 4-in-1 meter to make sure the root zone stays hydrated without waterlogging the soil. Consistent moisture at the root zone means plants are never stressed even when surface temperatures spike above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Wicking in containers and pots is a real game changer, especially since containers are even more sensitive to heat. What I do is create small wicking setups by placing a reservoir at the bottom and threading a strip of cotton or synthetic wicking fabric right into the soil. This setup draws water up gradually, keeping the soil evenly moist without needing daily intervention. Tomatoes, peppers, and leafy greens respond incredibly well, developing deeper roots and staying productive throughout those long heat waves. But, a common mistake is underestimating how much water is needed initially. The key is saturating the reservoir at planting and checking moisture with your meter. Once everything's established, the system really does self-regulate, and your plants essentially water themselves. Now, let's talk about how wicking improves plant resilience. The benefits go way beyond just saving time. Wicking encourages deeper root growth, which really strengthens plants against heat, wind, and drought stress. Roots in constantly moist soil maintain nutrient uptake, so leaves stay green, flowers set properly, and fruit size increases. Microbial communities thrive because the soil never goes completely dry or completely waterlogged, which promotes decomposition and nutrient cycling. I actually tested this over 3 summers in both raised beds and containers. Plants in wicking beds consistently outperform those with traditional surface watering. Larger tomatoes, thicker stems, healthier greens, and almost no wilt during record heat. The difference was dramatic enough that I stopped surface watering almost entirely in the hottest months. So, setting up your own wicking system isn't as complicated as it might sound. For raised beds, start with a 2 to 3 inch gravel or sand layer at the bottom, add a water reservoir, and cover it with a geotextile fabric. Then, just add your soil mix. For containers, use a layer of gravel, a fabric wick, and soil. Water the reservoir, Check soil moisture with your 4-in-1 meter and refill when necessary. Use moderate organic soil mixes, too sandy and water wicks too quickly. Too clay heavy and water may stagnate. I've found that a mix of 40% compost, 40% loamy soil, and 20% perlite or coarse sand works best for most vegetables. Let's talk about some mistakes to avoid. Some gardeners think wicking means never watering again, but that's just not true. Heat extremes and large plants still require occasional top-ups, especially in deep beds or large containers. Using the 4-in-1 soil moisture meter really helps prevent over or underwatering. Be sure to measure moisture at the root zone, not just at the surface. Also, don't skip aeration. The top few inches of soil should stay loose so roots can breathe and fungi can thrive. Another common mistake is ignoring nutrient delivery. Wicking helps water reach the roots, but you still need to supply nutrients. Personally, I combine wicking with slow-release fertilizers or compost tea. This way, plants get consistent hydration and nutrients at the same time. Wicking isn't just for soil, it works in hydroponics too. In small-scale hydro setups, a fabric or cotton wick can draw water from the nutrient reservoir directly to seedlings or leafy greens. This method actually reduces the risk of root rot while keeping moisture consistent. And if you pair it with a 4-in-1 meter, you can track temperature, pH, and moisture to really optimize growth, especially in high heat conditions. Why is monitoring soil non-negotiable? Well, I can't stress enough how much a 4-in-1 soil moisture meter saves both plants and time. In hot weather, just looking at the surface can be pretty misleading. Sometimes the soil looks dry on top but stays saturated a few inches down, or the other way around. By checking moisture, pH, temperature, and sunlight intensity, you make sure your wicking system is working right, prevent plant stress, and maximize your yields. I'll leave the exact meter I use in the description so you can check it out if you're interested. So here's the bottom line. Daily watering during record heat isn't necessary if you set up a wicking system. Plants thrive when roots get consistent hydration, microbial life flourishes, and nutrient uptake stays steady. Wicking really does reduce heat stress, conserve water, and improve yields dramatically in raised beds, containers, and even hydroponic systems. By combining an ancient principle with modern monitoring tools, you can create a garden that practically waters itself, even during extreme summer heat. Serious gardeners know it's not just about watering, it's about feeding roots efficiently, maintaining microbial health, and protecting soil structure. If you want to grow stronger plants, save water, and beat the heat this summer, subscribe to Farm Logic for tested real-world gardening strategies. And hey, share this video with a friend whose garden struggles in hot weather. Once you understand how roots access water, your garden will survive and thrive, no matter how high the mercury climbs. Healthy roots make healthy plants. Wicking is honestly the easiest, most effective way to protect them under extreme summer conditions.